Hello everyone, this is Rajesh Dwivedi, and today I am going to tell you about the soil resources of India. Now, first of all, the soil resources. The introduction. Soil, as you know, that it is the uppermost thin layer of the earth, and this is formed when the by the breaking of rocks and decayed organic matter, living organism, water and air. Uh, when soil in form of sediment break down from the mountain and brought by the river, when it settle down with organic matter, water and air, it develop the soil. Now the importance of any soil is in its fertility, means the require elements which present in it, and its capacity to produce crops. That is the main thing, because agriculture production completely depends on the fertility of the soil. We can't expect the agriculture without fertility. Now this soil mainly forms 1 to 3 meter depth. Why? Simply because the rocks below that, they do not have the required elements which may support the plant growth. Now this soil formation depends on many things. It depends on parent material, means the rocks from where it broke down, the topography, that means the physical features, uh, means where it will formed, the climate, that is temperature and rainfall, and the weathering, the wearing away. uh, Now the fertile soil, wherever it is found, that actually attracts the human settlement, and you will find the dense settlement in the fertile soil region compared to unfertile soil region. Now many human and economic activities that also depends upon the soil, means all our food, directly or indirectly, that comes from the soil. Now the important thing is that the soil profile, means how the soil develop. The soil develop in, you can say that, alternate arranged layers, which is called soil horizons. Now this arranged soil horizon, that is called the soil profile. Now how it differs, you can see in the picture that at the bottom, the D horizon, that is the bedrock, and where it lies actually below the sea horizon and mostly consists of this solid rocks. Above this is the sea horizon, the parent material, uh, and what happened that it mostly consists of unconsolidated, that means the loose rock materials, and from these loose rock materials, the upper two horizons, that is A horizon and the B horizon, that forms. Here you will in C horizon, you will not found any humus or any soil structure. Now above that is the B horizon, which is called subsoil, and it is below the topsoil and mostly consists of sand, silt and clay, and there is very, you can say that, means little amount of organic matter which is found over there. Then this comes the top layer of the soil, that is the topsoil. Now this topsoil is actually, it is dark in color, and it has a very fine texture uh, over here, and it contain the organic matter which is required for the plant growth. And this topsoil, we should take proper care whenever we are doing any sort of agriculture activities. Now, as I said earlier, the importance of soil is in its fertility. But the question is, what is fertility? Soil fertility means it is actually the strength of the soil which contain adequate amount of moisture and various minerals, and means this amount of moisture and minerals, they actually form the fertility of the soil, and this fertility can be improved by adding required amount of fertilizer at that particular place. Means what type of fertilizer required for a particular soil, that is if we are adding over there, it will increase the fertility. Now then comes the soil classification. Means actually this classification is on the basis of its location where the soil actually formed. Now first, that is residual or sedimentary soil. This soil is also called in situ. That means in situ, that is they actually formed at the original position when the parent rocks broke down, like the black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil, forest soil, and all others. Now then the second category is transported soil. These transported soil uh, is actually taken away by the agents of erosion, that means the wind or the water, and it consists of sediments, the required sediments, which is carried by the rivers, the large volume of water, and the wind, and they deposited at some other places. So the soil which forms away from the parent rocks, that is called transported soil, and the soil which forms at its own original position, that is called residual soil. Now we will go through the types of soil in India. This division is actually done by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and on the basis of the origin, color, composition, texture, age, thickness, chemical and physical properties. There are mainly 6 types of the soil which is found in our country. You can see in the map also. Now, the first one is alluvial soil. Now, see the chief characteristics of alluvial soil. Uh, as I explained, means alluvial soil is transported soil. That means it is formed by the river when the river brought the sediments and deposited on in the lowland area, uh, and it covers the wide area. That means the of the total land area of India, 24% is covered by alluvial soil. This soil is light, that means in terms of the weight, and the porous, having the small holes which allow the water and the air to go inside, and that's why it is tillable. That means tillable means that it helps in preparing the land for cultivation, and it's suitable for the growth of large variety of any types of the crops over here, which we grow in our country, that is rabi and kharif crops. Now uh, this soil, alluvial soil, it is of 2 types. The newer alluvium, this is called khadar, and the older alluvium, that is called bangar. Now the soil here is uh, rich in terms of potash, phosphoric acid, and lime, but it it there is complete deficiency of nitrogen and humus. Now this soil, the extension is also found in some parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat, where uh, means it is in the drier area, it is more of alkaline, means high saline types. But if we arrange the irrigation, proper irrigation, we can bring even that area of the dry region into cultivation. And this soil is mostly found in the northern plain, coastal areas, and the delta region of India. Then comes the black soil. Now this black soil is of great importance. Now see the characteristics. The characteristics of black soil is that it is formed by weathering of volcanic rocks of Deccan Trap, and it is dark in color, so it is called black or regular soil. Means when from the volcano, when the lava comes out and it settled down on the earth surface, so what happened, wind and water, they carries it and deposit it some other places. So by this weathering of the volcanic rock, the formation of soil took place, and because of high mineral contents, it develops the dark color which gives the black look. So that's why it is called black soil. Now this soil is very fertile, and the grain which is found over here, that is very fine, and the soil contain large amount of clay. Means out of the total proportion of sand, silt and clay, the percentage of clay is 50%, and because of this, it can retain moisture for longer time, which is very good for cotton and sugarcane cultivation. Now this soil is rich in iron, magnesium, calcium, lime and potash, but it lacks phosphorus, nitrogen and humus. Uh, so generally a nitrogenous fertilizer is suitable over here. Now what happened that means, during the rainy season, when the soil became wet, it becomes too much sticky, so plowing is that became difficult over here. And during the dry time, when there is no rainfall, the soil actually shrinks, and what happened that the deep cracks develop, which allows the air to go inside, and after the proper cultivation, and after proper arrangement, we can do the cultivation over here. This soil is especially suitable for the cotton, wheat, jowar, sugarcane, etc. And this is mainly found, main area of this black soil is Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Then comes the yellow soil and the red soil. Now see the chief characteristics of this red and yellow soil. These soils are formed by decomposition of underlying old crystalline igneous rock. Okay, means this soil is generally found in the region where we find the old crystalline igneous rocks, and what happened that means, here you will find this red color soil because of the oxidation. That means the when uh, iron combined with the rocks, uh, and the presence of iron is quite high over here, so that's why it is uh, red in color. And what happened that during the rainy season, uh, the water the soil completely becomes hydrated, means mixed with the moisture. So we find over that means the color of soil that looks yellow, and what we see that means this soil is poor in terms of nitrogen, phosphorus and organic matter. Now here the soils are uh, porous, means having the tiny space, and friable. Friable means the soil broke down very easily, and because it also contains the small quantities of salts also, so it is ideal for dry farming. And generally this soil is found in area where condition of rainfall is not very good, and this soil is not very much fertile, but we can bring under the cultivation after adding fertilizer and very good proper supports of irrigation for cultivation. Mostly this soil is found in peninsular India and parts of Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Andhra and Meghalaya. Then comes laterite soil. Now this laterite soil. Now see the chief characteristics of laterite soil. It is formed due to atmospheric weathering of rocks under condition of high temperature and heavy rainfall with alternate wet and dry periods. That means it is formed in the area where atmospherically means wind and water alternatively they play important role in erosion of the soil. So what happened that means uh, due to leaching process the soil develops over here means uh, the flowing water it carries the rich contents of the soil, uh, silica and lime, and left with the alumina. So that's why this soil is not responding properly with to the cultivation, and they are mainly found in uh, two areas. So they are of two types. First, that is called upland laterites, which is found in the hill area or the upland area, and they are uh, poor in terms of the fertility and thin. That means the layering is very thin over here. And second is the lowland laterites, means when water brought the soil from the upland areas to the down, and this is fertile one uh, because it is formed at the foothills and used for the growing of food grains. Now this soil actually means the texture of the soil is coarse and uh, a sort of somewhere it is soft, friable, that I explained, that is broke down easily, contain the high acidity, and it do not hold water properly. Miss Water retention is very poor in this soil, and this soil is also looks red in color due to presence of rich iron, but not as rich as we find in the red soil or the yellow soil. So what what we see over here, that means this soil is poor in terms of nitrogen, lime and humus, and this is mainly found in the highlands of peninsula, summits of eastern ghats, Chota Nagpur plateau, Assam hills, uh, etc. Then comes the arid soil. Now this arid soil, the chief characteristics is means it is formed by uh, the weathering of rocks and erosive work of wind. That means uh, when the rock broke down and it dries out, so what happened, wind easily carry these arid soil. Arid means that is the dry soil, okay, and they are mainly found in mostly the two colors, red and the brown, and they are coarse in nature, and the soil is sandy in terms of the texture. Now naturally this soil is saline, that means it considerable amount of salts are found over here. It lacks humus and moisture also, because due to the dry climate. Dry climate means what, that is very high temperature and very low rainfall, and this condition do not allow the growth of vegetation, so we also find the absence of vegetation over here. Now arid soils are characterized by their water deficiencies, means you will not find moisture in the arid soil, uh, but those places uh, where means with adding the proper fertilizer and irrigation, uh, some parts of it can brought under the cultivation. uh, as explained, arid soil it contain high level of calcium carbonate, gypsum and sodium, and the soil is poor in terms of the humus. This is mainly found in Rajasthan, Gujarat, southwest Punjab and Haryana. Now then comes the forest soil. The chief characteristics of the forest soil is means this is of residual type, means generally formed over the mountain slopes when wind and water weather the parent rocks. Now this soil is heterogeneous in nature, that means it is immature, and their character changes, means you find the different types of the forest soil uh, according to the different mountainous environment and height. Now at the same location you will find different types of soil at the different height. Now this soil is loamy and silty, means high silt content in the valley sides, and at the upper side is it is coarse. Now this soil is acidic and contain the less humus in the especially in the snow covered area. Now this soil are uh, fine and fertile in lower parts, that is towards the foothills of the valley and on the river traces, that means the near the river. uh, there we find that soil is rich in humus, but there it we find the deficiency in the potash, phosphorus and the lime, which is essential for the plant growth. Now the soil is suitable for actually the commercial type of farming, that is plantation, that is tea, coffee, spices and tropical fruits like apple, pomegranate and all. Now these soil are actually found in hill slopes of Himalaya, from Kashmir to Assam, and and also in the Dune valleys along Himalayas. So thanks for watching this video. uh, I hope you like this one, and again very soon I will come with the next video. Thank you for watching this.